What's up, everybody, and welcome to the live Q&A right here from San Diego at the FLX headquarters. Today, I'm here to answer any questions you've got about the baby makers and production, e-bikes in general, and you'll have a chance to meet our staff. At 2:10, Troy will be coming in, so that's 10 minutes from now, with a global logistics update, exactly where we stand around the world in terms of baby maker production and shipping. Lots going on there. Then Sarah will be coming in to answer some questions later, followed up by our mechanic later in the live. So if you have any mechanic questions, we'll save those for later. We did publish an update yesterday on the baby maker. Good news. Finally, we are back live building in Spain. It's been a long time coming. So thank you, everybody in Europe, if you're tuning in, for your patience there. Customs really bent us over on this one, but we finally made it through. 2 containers have cleared. Bikes are being built from those, and there's 2 more on the way. We're waiting on customs for those, but hopefully we should see some movement on those next week. All right, let's get right to the questions. Orbel, hey Rob, would I be one of the last to receive the baby maker since I ordered in February of this year, or I still have a chance in getting my baby maker before the July deadline? Orbel, all of the pre-orders, even if you ordered up into February, we've put that deadline at July 31st, so it's likely you'll get it sometime between now and July 31st. Exactly what day, there's no way for us to say because there's too many variables, but it will ship before then. Great time for a phone call. Greg Reed, once bikes board the ships in China, how long does it typically take to arrive in the U.S.? That typically before COVID, it would take us about 5 weeks from the time a ship left. It'd be 2 weeks on the water, a week or so to get through customs, and then get down to us. In total, we would typically see about 5 weeks, 35 days from the time it left to the time we'd get it here in San Diego. Now it's all over the place. The biggest challenge is port congestion. For example, we had a recent container of skateboards for other business. It docked 2 weeks ago. Didn't even reach port yet. It's just parked there outside of the port, waiting for a spot to get into the port. So there's all these container ships waiting in line, basically, for a spot to unload, and it's taking quite some time. So right now, it's tough to say with certainty, but I would say between 5 and 5, 6, 7, sometimes even up to 8 weeks in the most extreme circumstances if we have bad luck with customs getting in as well. TW, just bought a step through for my wife. Maybe I'll upgrade in the future to one of yours. Awesome, TW. I hope it's an FLX, and if not, enjoy, and I hope you join the FLX family soon. Tim Ferris, I heard there was an issue with cargo ships sitting off the coast in LA. Is this true? And I believe this will cause yet more delays. Tim, it is certainly true, and it's becoming more of the status quo. So it's kind of something we anticipate now going forward. I just mentioned that problem, so it's something that's ongoing, and we don't expect it to lighten up anytime soon. Eugene asked if I could please announce his FLX Southwest bike tour. So Eugene, I haven't looked into this too much, but I saw you're planning a bike tour in the Southwest in the official FLX Baby Maker Facebook group. So if you've got a baby maker, look for Eugene's post. It looks like a really cool ride. I saw some familiar sites, some Arizona, etc. So should be a ton of fun. Check him out. Hugo, hey Rob, with the current build rate in Spain being lower than expected, is the 31st July deadline still viable? Hugo, it's still viable. You know, we're putting pressure on there to pick up the pace. So we'll keep you updated on it. It's really early to say, as we are only, halfway through the first shipment or the first truckload of bikes leaving there. So as we kind of get that stabilized, we'll be able to give you a better idea. But as of now, it is still viable. Danny, is the container ship blocking the Suez Canal going to delay containers getting to Spain? Danny, that's a great question. I've only seen that recently in the news. I'm gonna see where that is and see if see if I can't find that route. I don't think it would, but let's see. Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. We'll have to we'll ask Troy if he knows anything about that, but that does look like a viable route from for containers from China all the way to Spain. So I don't have an answer for you on that, Danny. It is possible. So Troy will let us know what we've got in the works, but I imagine they'll have that cleaned up very soon. Connie, hi Rob. Ask Troy to send me my new tracking number. I'm trying to intercept my bike. All right, will do, Connie. Eugene says he's hoping to meet FLX riders in El Paso, San Antonio, Austin, Albuquerque, Tucson, Scottsdale, Phoenix, and Temp. Awesome. Eugene, that's a hell of a ride. I'm so stoked for you. Chef, Chef Hufflepuff. Hello, Rob. I'm new to the game, but I recently purchased a baby maker and the touring upgrade in March. Will those pre orders still be shipped midsummer? Yes, Chef Hufflepuff. We're expecting to have those shipped by that July 31st cutoff. TW got a ride one up. Your bikes seem interesting. I hope you do well with the increasing competition. Absolutely. Thank you very much, TW. Mark, can you share the expected wait time for a Baby Maker Pro to Hawaii? Mark, if you were to order today, we'd expect that to be in summer. That's the current delivery to Hawaii. Sometimes it can take an extra few weeks, as we do need to compile those with other baby makers and ship them LTL to Hawaii. Randy, hey Rob, I'm sure it's been addressed before, but can you tell me the recommended PSI for the baby maker? Thanks. Randy, I don't have that offhand. Um, Maybe somebody can check a tire, but it should be on just on the tire. If you look at that, it always has a recommended PSI range. Rob, will I be alerted by Indiegogo or FLX about the delivery? I signed up with Indiegogo. Jeff, great question. So you'll get multiple emails from us. One is an allocation email saying we've built your bike. It's being allocated from 200 or so bikes that we've completed building, and we've chosen this one, matches your order, so we've allocated it to you. That's the first email. The second one is a shipping notification saying, hey, your bike's on the way. Please confirm your address. Please check and make sure there's no mistake, that we have the correct one for you. So please read those carefully. If there's any issues at all, if it doesn't match your order, if the address is wrong, you've got to email us back as soon as possible so we can fix that and don't make a mistake on your order. Once you get the bike as well, before then, I skipped a step. Before then, you'll get an email saying that it shipped, and here's your tracking number. You get one of those probably from us and Indiegogo as well. And then once you get the bike, before you take it out of the box, please, please, please check the label on the end of the box. It will say base model or pro model. It will say what color it is, and if it's and what frame size as well. So make sure all of that matches your order. If it doesn't match, please don't take it out of the box. Please contact us immediately. We have had a few missed shipments from FedEx, unfortunately, and we want to make sure we can handle it. We can get you the right bike before it's opened and taken out, and that will cause a lot more trouble. All right. Chris K, assist speed seems to max out at 20 miles per hour. My Baby Maker Pro, is there a setting where I can adjust to the 28 mile per hour top speed? So, Chris, on that, the 28 mile per hour top speed, not everybody will be able to hit that. Yours should be programmed, if you're in the US, to a max of 28 miles per hour. If you're unsure, I believe a few folks have posted instructions in the Facebook Baby Maker official owners group on how to adjust the top speed settings. It's possible that it was a fluke and was set to 20 instead of 28. That is possible, so I would certainly check that. But keep in mind, it is a pedal assist bike, and a lot of people aren't able to go all the way up to 28 miles per hour. That top speed is a function of your pedal power, your leg power, and the bike's motor power. So you've really got to be pushing on those pedals hard and fast to get those high speeds. Todd Sobel. Hey Rob, just received my touring package from a baby maker. And on the carton it mentions an assembly video, but I can't find it. Is it somewhere or still in the making? Todd, I'm going to see if I can find that for you. I know it was on our YouTube channel, and I believe it should have been sent out with emails about the touring package. So if you didn't get that, apologies for that. I'm going to try and find it right now. And I'll send you a link in here. Ben made this. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Touring package. All right, I'm posting a link in the chat to the touring package video. You'll be able to use that to build it if you didn't have that earlier. For some reason, it's not public on our channel, so I'm hoping it's okay to post that. If Ben or our content people have problems with it, they'll let me know. All right. Hugo says, I think Troy deserves a Superman theme song intro. Absolutely, he does. I've got a new intro for him this week. I hope I get the right one here. Bruce Hoffman, any news on shipments to Northern California? So Bruce, all of our US shipments go out at the same time. So we've been shipping all over the country, Northern California, Southern California, New York, Massachusetts, Maine, Florida, you name it. We've been shipping there from the US. If you haven't received an email saying your bike was allocated or shipping notification, etc., yet, and you're waiting on that, please hang tight. We do anticipate having all of them sent out by the end of July. Mark Wilson, the delay in ports is not your fault. They are searching for containers full of children sold to Bill Gates. Thank you, Mark. Uh-oh. All right, we've got a special visitor in the house. Let's see if I got this music right. Hang on. Okay, I got to restart the music for you. I wish you could hear it, Troy. All right, come on in, Troy.
I don't know what the music is. I don't know.
You got a sweet intro. You got a sweet intro.
Oh, okay, I'll find out later.
I downloaded it just for you. All right, welcome, Troy. If you don't know, Troy's our production specialist, logistics manager, supply chain manager, and he's an absolute unit, Superman, as he's known to most of you here. And he's moved how many thousands of bikes over the past?
Honestly, I don't remember.
He doesn't remember. Thousands and thousands of bikes.
You know what? Those are in the past. All we care about is what's to go, right?
Right.
We're worried about the road ahead.
Awesome. All right, where do we stand?
Okay, so I noticed you did mention Spain a little bit, but we're actually probably going to touch on that a little bit later. So, U.S. and Canada, a lot going on. C-17 is starting to ship now. The bikes are shipping out this week. The touring kits probably the end of this week and probably into next week. If you C13, C14, C15, C16, those are all gone. There's a few stragglers on there where we had some labeling issues and couldn't get in touch with people, address things, but maybe 8 or 10 bikes, that's about it. Everything else is gone from those. So we are on to C17, that's the newest one. Next up, we've talked T2 and T3. Again, I know people have been, I got a notification, I think, mid-February. Again, we thought that one was leaving before Chinese New Year. It didn't, and it's on its way. So maybe next week I'll tell you the name of the ship so you can actually go track it on Vessel Finder if you'd like. T4, we just sent out allocation letters for that, I think last Friday, if I remember right. It took a grand total of 12 minutes, I think, for it to make it on Facebook. So 660 bikes went out, actually, or allocation letters went out for T4. So hopefully some happy people out there. That's on the way. The next one coming from the China 2 plant is T5. We've talked about that, 484 bikes. That will sail early April. I'm going to guess that we will send out those allocation letters either the end of next week or probably more likely early the following week. So you'll be getting notifications on that. The good news is C18 is now getting ready to ship 222 bikes, 66 standards, 156 pros. Tentative sale date for that is 3/26, so we're probably about a week out for allocations on that. Again, C18 is pure bikes. C19, which is we don't have scheduled yet, will contain more touring kits, so we'll start shipping touring kits again. But we have put out between C17 and C15, 460 touring kits in that range, and we're actually not counting those in our numbers as we look at fulfillment. But you guys have probably seen that on Indiegogo. We are now at 69% in the U.S. in terms of allocation. Canada, 86%. We're doing pretty well. Again, UK and EU, we're letting you guys down a little bit. We're going to pick that up. Rob mentioned that Spain is building bikes now. The issue that we'll be dealing with is when we get ready to move them. There's an Easter shutdown in Spain for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and the following Monday, and then 2 days in the UK. So we don't want to put a truck showing up at a dock that's closed. So now we're working out kind of the short-term logistics on how we move that truck. But should be moving 100 plus bikes to the UK. We currently have the ability to, with the containers, we've got 529 bikes. We can build another 443 are in the containers that are still awaiting customs, and hopefully we'll have those out in the next week. I know there was a question about the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bad news is I don't know if that affects our shipping lane or not. The good news is we don't have any containers on the water right now, so it's not going to affect us. That should be cleared by the time that if indeed we do go through the Suez, that will be cleared by the time we get to that. And actually, it's a really good question. I have to learn that one myself yet. Backtracking on U.S., I know Alaska, we have LTL 4 bikes going out here. Probably end of this week. We just sent them the bill of lading on that. And Hawaii, we actually have 2 orders going out, 3 bikes and a battery, and another one of 4 bikes. So 7 more bikes going to Hawaii. You guys are getting fulfilled pretty well. Lastly, low volume locations. About 90% of the bikes are built right now. So we said we're going to ship in April. We're probably going to start shipping as early as next week. Again, that may be affected by, I want to get the term right. There's a few days shutdown in China for Tomb Sweeping Day. Is that the proper?
清明节. I don't know what it means.
Okay. Well, Richard says it's
Tomb Sweeping Day?
Tomb Sweeping Day. I guess
it's like celebrating the dead, like the Day of the Dead,
okay.
The Mexican holiday, similar.
Okay. As early as next week, we should start shipping out to the low volume locations. First round of that is going to be going out to China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, and Hong Kong. I think Chris is in Indonesia. We haven't forgotten about you. I appreciate all the compliments. We're gonna get to you. So those are the ones, kind of the easier ones, and we want to move those out. They represent a lot of the volume, and it's just the low hanging fruit and the easiest stuff. We want to get these bikes out quickly, and we'll move through the entire low volume location list of countries and get those bikes out.
Sweet. Chris did just ask about it. Did you mention Indonesia, where that stands in?
That'll probably be in the next round after these ones. So
cool.
Again, April still looks good for you.
Sweet. Awesome. Cool. Is that everything? All right, I'm going to find you some questions.
That's pretty much it. So I was watching
Easy
Connie.
Connie.
I forwarded your information to Walter and let him know to get in touch with you. I believe I had the tracking this morning on that. Apologies on that one, but I already did my wall sits once, and your bike's supposed to be on its way.
Awesome. All right. Harvey asks, when can we expect bikes to be shipping out of Spain to the UK? Many thanks. Can't wait.
Again, I'm hoping next week. The issue is if I flush a truck out of Spain on Wednesday, It would arrive in the UK, I believe, on Friday, and that's a problem because they're closed. And the folks that do the unload at the warehouse are kind of on-call folks. They're not full-time people, so we have to kind of give them some notice. So I'm hoping that it's going to be end of next week. We're gonna land those, but I have some concerns that it may be the following week.
Awesome. All right. Another question. Same thing for the UK. We got Chris's question. For UK or Europe bike, will through axle be used for bike currently assembling, or will it be quick release because of parts shipped long time ago? It's a good question.
I think that is a good question. I think a lot of them are going to be quick release.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm not the
leaning that way,
technical
too.
one. I'm not sure that's an issue. It's a fairly lightweight bike. I'm not sure it's going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, quick release has been around for how many decades?
Yeah. Jared Miller at Troy Sterling dropper, 78.99 possibly on C18.
Could be. I don't recall. We did the allocation. After you deal with a few thousand of these, they kind of run together. I think those are probably more likely to be on one of the probably T5. I think it's going to be the one after the T4 that's currently on the water.
Sweet.
Yep.
Brent Hansen, got my bike in Denver, Colorado. Thank you, Troy and team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And team.
Yeah, and team.
Yeah, we get to get up here and look at trails, but there's a lot of people doing a lot of good hard work.
Everybody
So-
got a big round of applause there.
Oh yeah, enjoy it.
Hell yeah. All right. And there's a few questions here that aren't logistics related. Bondi Peter, hi Rob from Bondi. Heaps of rain and flooding here, so unable to ride for 4 days now. Back in the saddle. Got to watch out for the potholes. Bondi, I heard about the flooding in Australia, and I guess a lot of like spiders and snakes are going into people's houses to escape the flooding. But it didn't sound all bad because at least on Sundays, the shrimp put themselves on the Barbie. I'm not going to use that one on Friday. All right. Hugo, hey Troy, do you have many orders to the Czech Republic?
I don't recall. I know we have some, and I believe we've already delivered to the Czech Republic. I think that's one of the 24 countries we have delivered to. I know. I don't know how many though. I don't recall. There's quite a few because obviously Czechs really like a very good bicycle.
I think we've got Czech Republic.
Yeah, we do.
We can
I know.
check.
I know we've delivered there. I just don't recall how many there are.
Stefan asks, hi Rob and Troy, what version do you deliver to Switzerland? Does it have the same motor and limitations than the EU bikes? Swiss bike law allows to go 40 kilometers per hour as Switzerland is not part of the EU. Stefan, those are built together. You'll be hard pressed to notice any difference between that bike and the ones we ship to the US. It will be programmed with a speed limit to match EU regulations, which is 25 kilometers an hour. And if you need to modify that to fit your local regulations, you can do that. The settings, how to do that, those are posted on Facebook. All right, 86. I can't even read that. Okay, he asked, so if my bike was supposed to be delivered mid to late March, should I see it soon?
Yeah, that's probably one of the T numbered containers that got held up. The ones we thought were going to leave before Chinese New Year. So those are due in here in the next couple of weeks. So I would say by the end of April you'll have it.
Awesome.
Hopefully sooner.
Lewis asks, we only saw Sterling in Spain pictures and footage. Are there other colors received? He's a Kiwi 19.
Yeah, the biggest quantity, I think they're for that first UK order. I think they're building I think it's like 40 Sterlings in that build, but there's all colors in there. I don't recall the exact number, but we're building, pros, we're building standards, we're building all the colors and all the sizes. There's a mix of them.
Awesome.
It depends on where you're at. Like for the UK, obviously, it's a subset. There's certain SKUs that weren't ordered at all in the UK, so we're not building those. If we have those materials, unfortunately, they're sitting for NL3 to go to the Netherlands for fulfillment in the rest of the EU.
Awesome. All right, Jeff Reeves, what is the typical duration from the allocation notice and me sitting on the bike?
It's probably going to be about a month typically. We send out the allocation letters pretty much as soon as it sails. We give it a few days. Then we get the letter out, and then of course we have sailing time, which the biggest issue, the congestion, is actually not on the Los Angeles end. It's actually on the China end. That's where we've had trouble getting containers onto ships. Actually the latest report I got from FedEx Logistics is that things have improved somewhat in Los Angeles. It's at its lowest level, I think, in a year. Not good, but it's a lot better than it was. I expect it's probably going to go up again at some point, but right now things are moving fairly well. The number of ships parked is slightly down. So and the time that they're actually at anchor is shorter.
Awesome. I would conservatively tell you 6 weeks, just so you're not disappointed on that. Do the standard chain drive bikes? I'll get to that one a little bit later. Mike, just logistics questions now. Harvey, thanks again, guys. Hang in there. You're getting on the right side of it now. Troy is everyone's hero here. Top man, top job. He is. He's doing an amazing job. Thank you, Troy. We really appreciate
like
you.
I said, there's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work. And Chris, no, Indonesia will not be the last country we fulfill to. I just saw your note on there. Just so you know, with the exception of Antarctica, we've got orders on every continent on the planet. So you name it. We've got orders in South America. We've got orders in the Middle East. We have orders everywhere. So Indonesia, you will not be last.
Fantastic. All right, Troy, I think that's all the
it?
logistics questions for you. I'll burn through the rest of these quick release questions afterwards. Thank you so much, Troy.
Right.
Appreciate the hard work. Troy is a hero. All right, I've got to fix the focus on the camera. That's about right. Wow. Okay, that's better. All right, if I missed your question, I'm going to try and hit those real quick. And Sarah is coming in just a few minutes. All right, Ray asked, just watch the updated Sarah Baby Maker build video. Is the through axle better or the same as the quick release? And if we haven't received our Baby Maker yet, are we more likely to get the through axle? Great question. So just a bit of background on that. The very first Baby Makers that we shipped, also the first components that we shipped from our factory to Europe to build Baby Makers, those were all built the same as our prototypes with a quick release front axle. So that's a quick release skewer. You undo the lever, pull the skewer out. It's been used for decades on bikes. It works great. There's another type of axle which is called a through axle, which is beefier, it's thicker, and it goes through holes in the fork rather than the fork resting on them. It goes through the holes in the fork. It screws into the other side, and this is a quick release through axle, so it's got a lever to lock it in place. It is a little bit more secure and a little bit more solid of a ride. The drawback to it is it takes slightly longer to get in and out, and it also adds an ounce or two of weight to the bike. So we did make the decision to upgrade all of the Baby Makers moving forward after the first 1,000, 2,000 maybe, that were built to the through axle because we thought it would be a nice thing to have on your bike. So if you haven't got it yet and you're in the US, you're probably going to get the through axle. Okay, I know there's been a bunch of questions on those, so I'll try and hit them once we go through. We answered most of these with Troy. Okay, so Mike asked, do the standard chain drive bikes have a quick release skewer or a through axle for their wheels. Mike, I believe they'll have the through axle as well. Don't quote me on that. I could be mistaken, but my impression was we put the through axle on all of them moving forward. So I'll have to double check on that. Chris asked, did I receive your DM on Instagram? Is it possible for voice call later when you have spare time? Chris, I never get any spare time, unfortunately. I haven't been doing DMs really lately or any messaging. I actually have an assistant who's doing all the messaging, which has been a huge help. So I do hit them from time to time. You can email me as well. And if there's something that requires my attention, I'm happy to chat. All right. Almost caught up here on the questions, and Sarah will be coming in just a minute. Trev Nod, hi Rob, I'm not on Facebook. How can I get the LCD adjustments for riding on private mountain bike courses? Trev Nod, great question. I'm going to see if I can find the video for you in the Facebook group, and I'll just post it here. If I can't find it, then you can contact our support team, support at FLX.bike. I'm thinking about too many things at one time here. All right, hang on, Sarah. I got to get you an intro song, okay?
Okay.
Let me get you a new one. All right. Come on in. All right, welcome, Sarah.
Hi.
You're going to love the intro music you got.
What is that?
Not much. How are you?
Good.
Can you approach the microphone just a
Yes.
little bit to put you in
I always
focus?
sit too far away.
A little bit more?
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Good.
How's Randy?
He's good. I sent him home. He was being very annoying today.
Really? Can
Yep.
you tell everybody who Randy is?
Randy is my German short-haired pointer. I bring him to work every day. He has attachment issues, so I can't leave him at home. So he's kind of become our office dog.
What happens when you leave him at home?
He will sit there and scream until I come back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Poor guy. So Sarah is our rider support manager. She does an amazing job. This has not been the most perfect process, as many of you are aware. We've been hit blindsided by many delays for this and that. And so Sarah manages the team that handles the brunt of the response, all the questions and everything. She's doing an incredible job. So what are some of the most common questions we've gotten in the past week or two?
So of course, where's my bike?
Okay.
Most common question that we get. And now that the touring packages are coming through, we've gotten a lot of questions about installation and stuff like that. So I've been sending out the YouTube video a lot. And then just logistical questions about the containers and where they're at. A lot of people curious about the process. So that's been kind of fun to answer those questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Are people asking about how to adjust the speed limit?
I always just send those to Mark.
Send them to Mark.
Anything mechanical, I do send to Mark. But yeah, we do get those questions. We have a full spiel on how to adjust your speed limit within your display and all that.
Sweet. And by the way, for the guy Trev Nod who asked about the speed limit settings, I just posted the video on the chat. It's the last chat.
And when you watch that video, be sure to read the disclaimer because it is really easy to really mess up your display if you do the wrong thing. So there's a disclaimer in the description.
If Ben's watching, you spelled baby maker wrong. Ben or Dylan. Baby maker. FLX baby maker.
Oh, I never
That's
noticed
funny.
that.
I bet people will
It gives
like
it
that.
character.
Yeah, right? The baby maker. All right. Let's see if there's any questions for you. All right, no questions. Beautiful. It's an easy one. Well, let's chat then.
Cool.
What are you most excited to see on the Facebook Baby Maker group?
Like what excites me to see or what am I hoping to see?
Well, here's the thing. I see you on there all the time, like in the middle of the night, 10 p.m.,
I can't
2
help it.
a.m. going on and answering people's questions. We're always saying like, okay, we won't do support in the Facebook group, but Sarah can't help herself but
I
go
can't.
on and help people out. What kind of things are you seeing in there that are actually exciting to see?
Well, I always get excited when I see a question that I know I can answer immediately.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yes, I know the answer to that. So that's always fun. And then it's just really cool to see all the different spots that the baby makers have landed and just people that are so excited about the bikes. You know, we're so passionate about them. So to see other people enjoying them too is really cool.
Hell yeah. I love seeing exactly like where they've landed. And then people trick them out too. You pimp them out and put your own bars on, your own color. That's
Did you
so cool to
see
see.
that orange? I don't know who posted it. There was an orange baby maker, and it was sitting up next to like the water, and then there was huge that one right there.
This one right here?
Yeah, coolest.
Uh-huh. Oh, I wish we could show people this screen.
Yeah.
We should do like a photo
Screen
review.
share. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
That's one of the coolest pictures I've seen on the. It was
wonder-
by Peter.
I might be able to drag it in here. Let's see. Oh man, this is too technical. All right.
Anyways, things like that are really cool to see.
I'm still gonna try. All right. Can you guys see it? If not, we'll have to. Yeah, no, I don't think it's working.
Do you know where that is?
I think he's at Budapest. So somebody had their baby maker
so
in
sick.
Budapest. There's been a lot of deliveries to Europe. UK, not yet. We're still waiting on that first shipment, but it is the next one leaving our Spanish factory, and it should be leaving as early as next week, if not the following week, because there is an Easter holiday. All right, Chris says, no worries, Sarah. I won't ask about my bikes anymore.
Oh, well, I didn't say that. You can still ask about your bike.
She's going to miss your emails.
Yeah, of course.
Luke says, shipping delays and isolated defects are acceptable, but without some type of instructional remedy, it's becoming less believable when you tell us that the mounting bracket is breaking to user error. Luke, I'm not sure what mounting bracket you're speaking of. Is that the display or something else?
I believe he's talking about the display.
Got it. So we have seen quite a few of those over tightened where it will break it, but it is something that we're looking into. In the future, what we're doing now, I think, since we had so many of those, is we're installing it on the handlebars. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing right now, is sticking it on the handlebars, packaging it that way, and that will eliminate the step of you having to put it on and risk breaking it. John McCauley, how long does it take to actually receive your bike from the time we receive notice of shipping? So John, Troy answered that earlier, about 4 to 6 weeks from the time you get that email, the allocation notification, to the time you get it.
And I believe in those emails that you're getting, it tells you what container you're on, correct? So you can go look at the updates that we send out, and there's container updates that we push out every single Wednesday, right?
Every Tuesday.
Tuesday. And it will give you the container information and where the container's at and any updates we have on the containers.
Awesome. Chris said even his items ordered from Amazon arrived faster than his bike.
Ooh, well.
Well, of course, it's
Yeah.
not Amazon.
Yeah, we're not
This is-
Amazon.
You're pre-ordering the product. Amazon, we can't do the 2-day. We wish we could on all the bikes. We're going to transfer from a pre-order model where you order it, we build it, and then ship it to you, to more of a standard model where we've got it in stock. You order it, and we ship it immediately. As once we finally get caught up on shipping all the back orders out, it was a tremendous volume that you guys placed with us. So it's taken a little while to build, but we will get caught up very soon and have them in stock for immediate shipment.
Could you imagine if we tried to fit all of the baby maker orders in our warehouse?
And imagine how big of a warehouse you'd need for 10,000.
I don't even know what that would look like.
We can fit if we stuff this place 500 bikes in here. So that would be
In the back?
in the back.
Okay.
Like that's all the racks, that's everything full up, plus on top of the racks. Like 500 is optimistic, 400.
Interesting.
So that's going to be 20 of our warehouses.
That's
I'm doing the math
insane.
right.
That would be so cool to see.
Susan, got my bike yesterday. Love it. Any tips on ergonomics regarding setting the seat height and handlebars? Do you have any tips for her? I've got them if you don't.
You go for it.
All right, Susan, you want to adjust your seat so that you can get on, and you can also touch the ground when you're seated on the bike. You definitely want to at least get your toes on the ground just for stability and to be able to come to a stop. And then when you're pedaling, you want your legs to be straight, so adjust your seat height so that your legs can be just almost straight. You don't want them super bent at the bottom stroke of your pedal. You won't get much power that way. All right. Trying to find some questions for you, Sarah. Oliver asks, are you planning to make some new accessories such as new designs on the front rear lights, mini bike horns? Thanks for the response.
Oliver, as of now, I don't think that we are planning on any new accessories. We just came out with the touring packages that we have now. And as far as I know, everyone's been pretty satisfied with them. They're pretty awesome. We got one for the Pro in the other day, and it was cool. It was fun watching them put it together. But with that being said, we're always coming out with new stuff. So once the bikes have been delivered and we can shift our focus elsewhere, we might look into adding cooler stuff or cool stuff.
On the down low, Oliver, we got some stuff in mind. We can't share it yet, though. So stay.
He hasn't
stay
even told
tuned.
me yet.
Nobody at the office knows.
Hey.
All right. Chris says, wish you guys always in good health and great job, guys. God bless you always, FLX team.
Oh, Chris, thank you. That was
Thank
nice.
you so much, Chris. We appreciate that. Okay, final question for you, Sarah. Where's your baby maker?
I don't know. I don't have it yet. Kyle was teasing me about that the other day. I was like, I hope I get it before he's deploying. And so I was like, I hope I get it before you deploy so you can look at it. And he was like, yeah, if you ever get it. I'm like, it's coming. I promise.
If you ever
it's
get
coming.
it, it's a scam, Sarah.
I mean, I'm starting to think that.
Just kidding, obviously. So Sarah's still waiting on her baby maker. She's in line just like you guys. And it's coming.
It's coming.
July 31st is the cutoff, Sarah.
Yep.
It will be here.
I mean, I've thought about taking other people's baby makers. I'll look at people's orders and I'm like, it's close to mine. It's close to mine. I wouldn't do that. Trust me, I wouldn't do that. But I've thought
Sarah.
about it.
We appreciate you. All right, thanks so much for coming on the live.
Okay, bye, guys.
All right, I understand. I did skip a few questions there that weren't so relevant for Sarah, so I'll be catching up on those once I get this microphone seated. All right. Stephen Smith, hi. Any idea on order 9584? It was May order last year, and it said shipping date of September. Yet no updates or responses when I emailed the office. Hey, Stephen, apologies for that. The estimated shipping date, some of them we shipped out before the estimates, but the majority of them are shipping out after the estimates. It's taken quite a bit longer than originally planned to build all of the bikes. So we've set a cutoff time of July 31st to get all of the bikes delivered. So if you haven't received it, please check out our Indiegogo updates. We host on Indiegogo. If you go there in the updates section, that's the place where you ordered your bike. You'll see an update. We're up to 99 updates now. Every single Tuesday, we post a very in-depth update, exactly where we're at in production, where all of our containers that are outstanding are, including our shipping percent worldwide and per geographic location. Ton of great information. So please check those out. We do send them out to everybody's email who ordered a bike, so you should be getting that as well. And it can really fill you in on where we're at. We're unable to tell you exactly where your order is because it's not until they're completed once we do allocate that bike to you. Eric, same thing. I ordered my bike in May 2020. When will it be delivered to Germany? So, Eric, we've got some shipments upcoming. The first one in Europe, well, in the UK, which is now no longer part of Europe. That one is leaving next week or the following week, and then the next container is going to Europe. So keep an eye out on that. We're going to switch between UK and Europe. We send something to the UK, and then we send bikes to Europe, building them as fast as we can. So hang tight on that, and please stay tuned to the Indiegogo updates as well, where we'll tell you when containers are leaving for Europe or the UK. Greg, where do I get technical information regarding, i.e. bottom bracket, wheel bearing numbers, and gates, belt, sprockets for future reference? Greg, we've got some limited information on the website, on the product page of the Baby Maker, the exact spec for the bottom bracket, etc. I don't believe that we have it published yet. However, those things have been requested before, so it's something we'll look into. If you need a specific spec for something you need to change out, you can always contact us, support@flx.bike, where one of our mechanics will be able to help you out. Steven, my bike is a Sterling. Can't wait for it to arrive. 9584. Any hints? I'm sad and keep looking for it, but the silence is sad. Oh, Steven, it's nothing to be sad about. I understand how anxious you are and how tough the wait can be. It will be well worth it, though. It will be coming. The best hint I can give you is it will be on its way before that July 31st cutoff. FDC, regarding the display, it would be good to give a torque spec to tighten it to the handlebar. Hey, great tip. Thank you for that. Steven said he's in the USA. Got it. Got it. So USA, we are now officially 69% shipped. So that means 69% of all the pre-orders to the US have shipped already, which is very exciting. And we're expecting a lot of big progress there as well over the coming weeks. Oliver, we will keep you posted. Ding, 31st of July is the latest date the bikes will be actually received by the customer. Let me see exactly how we phrased it. Give me 1 sec to look up. I do have a terrible memory, but we've got this in writing, so let me see what we've written. Come in. Hey, what's going on?
Yep.
All right, while I find that, let's welcome our next guest. Mark's in the house.
Hey everyone, it's Mark here. I'm one of the bike technicians here. I'm on the mechanical side of things. What's going on, guys?
All right, we did have a few questions here about quick releases and through axles for you. What's your take? A couple people asked, what's better, a quick release or a through axle? Do you want to guide us through that? And if you could approach the microphone a little bit closer so you're in focus, that'd be great.
So in a general sense, through axles are much better in terms of strength and integrity. They're much easier to install too. And when it comes to having to remove the front wheel and installing it back onto the frame, quick releases also help it to where I'm not sure if you ever install a bike with a quick release, if you don't install the wheel in the exact same position it was when you removed it, more than often you will have to readjust the front caliper and realign it with the rotor. With through axles, you almost never have to do that, so it's really convenient as well. But quick releases definitely do get the job done, and there's a reason why a lot of road bikes, especially really high-end ones, still come with quick releases.
Sweet. You're still a little bit far from the...
There we go.
Just a little fuzzy. That's good. Maybe I can bring it back a little. All right.
Cool.
Now we're in focus. So for a mountain bike, what would you choose?
Mountain bikes, through axles, 100%.
For an electric bike?
Yes, through axles.
Electric road bike?
Through axles.
All right, cool. So it is an upgrade. We've heard some folks who love it, some folks who don't like it so much. Overall, the general consensus we believe will be very positive to that because it does make for a little bit nicer ride, a little bit more stable and secure. Mm-hmm. All right, if you guys have any questions regarding upgrades on your bikes, if you have an issue with it, anything like that, please let us know in the chat. Mark here is an expert when it comes to these things. He's working on the bikes all day, and it's his absolute passion. Do you want to tell us about your ride yesterday?
Yeah, so we did a lot of riding specifically for the Blade 2.0. Me and a couple of guys, we decided to go up to Alpine, which is about 20, 30 minutes east of San Diego. And I took them down one of my favorite downhill trails. So there's a lot of features that we were sessioning on to get some footage, a lot of drone footage as well. So we got a lot of kickers, booters, and doubles that we were doing, along with really big rollers and a really nice wall ride that I was hitting. And it's really hard to kind of depict how big these features are. So we did have one of us kind of in the footage or in the photos to kind of get an idea of how big these are. But yeah, it was really fun. I did have a little spill as well. The Blade 2.0 is a hardtail. I've ridden full suspension for a very long time, so I'm not really quite used to jumping on a hardtail anymore. So I had to get used to it a bit, but it's definitely really fun. That's for sure.
Mark almost went off the cliff. You guys should have seen this video. It's hilarious.
I'm fine. It was a good crash. It was a good crash.
I was so glad we had insurance in that moment. So what happened? Walk us through the crash. And how could you have not crashed? What did you learn from it?
Yeah, so the feature was kind of a hip, a step down. And
what is that?
So a hip is a kind of a jump that points you sideways almost. And a step down is when the landing is lower than the takeoff. So it's kind of a mixture of the two. What happened was right after the landing, it's a hairpin left. And unfortunately, if you don't make that hairpin, it's kind of a cliff on the other side. So I kind of got lucky. I landed on a bush, but what happened was because I was talking about how I'm not quite used to riding a hardtail anymore, I kind of landed a bit too harsh. And then on the bars, my wrist went like this, and then I just lost it from there. But it was pretty nerve-wracking, but it was fun. Crashing is always part of the experience. So
We're gonna have to publish that footage because it looked crazy. So he came off the bike and then slides over the terrain towards this cliff. It just like barely catches. It looked like something from Indiana Jones. It was sweet. Way to take one for the team. All right, let's see mechanical questions if we've got any. Chris, is there a recommended length for front brake cable? I have changed my handles, but the cable is too short.
the front brake cable?
Yeah.
The front brake cable for the standard, I'm assuming this is a baby maker.
I think so as well.
Okay, so the front brake cable, there is no brake cable that I can get out that's the exact size, mainly because cables in general can be used for a lot of different reasons. In this case, because the front brake cable is in most cases really short, it's hard to determine how short it needs to be. A lot of the time, brake cables are universal for the most part, and you'll just have to cut it down. So it's really just a matter of how much slack that you need to leave for the caliper on the caliper side. So what I typically like to do is when you pinch the cable onto the caliper or that mount where it goes, I personally like leaving about an inch or two of slack. That way, if you have to make any adjustments for whatever reason, you can easily do that. Because if you were to cut it too short, let's say less than an inch or so, most likely, if any adjustments need to be made, the entire cable needs to be swapped out for a replacement.
Awesome. Thank you. Do you have experience installing Tannis tires? If so, what would you say would be the thickest tread you could squeeze into the Baby Maker frame?
I don't have that much experience when it comes to non-tubular tires, unfortunately. When it comes to, clincher tires. So when it comes to tubular tires, it's a bit tough because you essentially glue them to the wheel. So if you ever have to replace a tire for whatever reason, you do have to rip it off. And a lot of the time that residue from the glue kind of sticks and stays there. So you have to clean the rim first and then reinstall the tire. But when it comes to flats and all that, you don't really have to worry about it because there's no air. So there are pros and cons to it, but eventually tires do wear down. And when it comes to having to replace a tire, it can be a pain.
That's true. We do actually have a Tannis tire on one of our prototypes. We're testing it out, and it's cool. It's not as forgiving as the air tire. It's a little bit stiffer. So if you think the Baby Maker already is a little bit rough because there's no suspension, it's going to be really rough with those Tannis tires just because there's less cushion in the tire.
Yeah, solid rubber is pretty uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, quite unforgiving. Paul, my touring kit came in and it's fantastic. Someone told me that the Pro and standard touring packages are different. Is that true?
Not that I'm aware of. So the touring
They
package. They are.
They are,
Okay,
yeah.
so I haven't installed it on the standard yet, but
They are because it needs to accommodate the disc brake in the Pro version. So I think it's got a special cutout on
it's
that.
much wider, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Michael, is it possible to buy a throttle for my Baby Maker Pro?
No, so the Baby Maker is not designed for throttles whatsoever. It's strictly a pedal assist bike.
Sweet. How's your arm doing after the crash yesterday?
Pretty good. I can't really lift things yet, and it's really sore. I'm not sure how I crashed, but I think my arm went like that, and yeah, it's pretty bad.
Just trying to grasp that bush so he didn't fall off the
I think
cliff.
so.
What's the worst injury you've got mountain biking?
The worst?
Yeah.
I had a concussion. So I hit my frame. So what happened was I was in a double and I cased the crap out of it, unfortunately.
You got to translate this.
So when you hit doubles, so there's
What's a double?
so there's two types of jumps for the most part. There's tables and then there's doubles. Tables is where you have the lip in the lip, or you have two lips, or I'm sorry, the lip in the landing, and then in the middle it's filled in with dirt. So that's what's called a table. And then gaps is when there's no dirt in the middle. So a lot of gaps are typically referred to as doubles as well. And what happened was when you hit tables with a bike, if you're not going fast enough, or if you don't pop the lip, popping as in if you don't pull up or if you don't preload the suspension hard enough, there's not too much consequence because you land on dirt. So it's not a huge deal. However, when it comes to doubles and gaps, there is a big consequence. If you don't make the lip, you'll land right in the middle of it. Or if you're not fast enough, you can hit the knuckle of the landing. And in this case, it was a rock. So I dented my frame and it bucked me, and that kind of forced me to over rotate a little. And my head hit a boulder right next to it. So I cracked my helmet, unfortunately. I didn't get a concussion. It was a mild concussion. So I was kind of out for a second. I thought the experiences was, bad. I thought it was cool at the same time because I've never been in that situation before. I know it sounds a little weird, but I do remember most of it when I kind of regained consciousness. A lot of my friends were kind of asking me all these questions like, "Oh, what's today?" or "Who's the president?" And I got to make sure that, or they wanted to make sure that I was good to go, and I turned out fine after like 30 minutes. So
That's funny. Glad you're okay.
yeah.
Chris says, can you briefly explain the way the motor is activated? I know it reacts to pedaling, but does it matter how quickly you pedal?
So I'm assuming this is for the Baby Maker.
Yes.
So for the Baby Maker, it's a cadence sensor. So really, all you need to do is pedal. So the cadence sensor senses exactly that, the rotation of the cranks. So as long as you're rotating the cranks fast enough, the motor will go. Now, depending on how much assist the motor gives you is from the pedal assist mode that you're in. So you can try it yourself. If you were to place the bike on a bike stand, or just get that back wheel off the ground, and let's say you start in pedal assist mode 1, and then you just start rotating those cranks, not enough to where you're assisting the wheel, but just enough to get the wheel going, you'll see that the wheel will reach a certain speed and then stop. And every pedal assist mode has that. Do keep in mind that the bike, regardless, will still assist you even if you are over that speed limit of the current pedal assist mode that you're in.
Awesome. Sweet. I think that's all the bike related questions. Thanks so much for coming on, Mark.
Cool, yeah, for sure.
Keep out the good work, and I hope your arm feels better. Oh, man. All right, I think we're back online. Sorry, guys, for the interruption there. I think the internet cut out. So I was in the middle of answering Stephen Smith's questions. Said he didn't get an answer to a question about his bike. Stephen, please make sure you're emailing our support team. It's support@flx.bike. If you could let us know how you contacted us and if you got a response or not. If you didn't get a response within a day or two, business day or two, that's not okay. That's not what we do. We answer everybody who emails in. So it's possible that the wrong address was used, or that it went to your spam box, or that there was a mistake somewhere in the system. So please follow up with me on that. Chris says, by the way, I had my vaccine already. My second shot will be on the 4th next month. I will get my vaccine done before my baby maker bikes. Cheers, Rob. Cheers, Chris. Glad to hear about your vaccine. Michael asked for tracking for his touring package. I believe we're emailing those out, Michael. If you didn't get one, feel free to email support. Did you get email saying your touring package was on the way? Ding, I got you back on that. Did you hear it? So I'm pretty sure we stated that the July 31st is for all bikes to be delivered. That's the goal. Chris, any news about the Phantom? So, Chris, all of the international Phantoms, we just inputted the tracking for those Phantoms. By the way, our sister company, Miles Board, we make electric skateboards, and we recently launched a new skateboard on Indiegogo. That was in November. Those bikes have shipped as well. And Chris, I can see if I can find yours here while we're waiting on other questions. But we recently uploaded all the international tracking numbers for the Phantoms. Let's see if yours is in there. I don't see a tracking number for yours, so I'm going to have to look into that, Chris. It may be a special case where they need more information. So I'll look into that. There were a handful. There were like 4 or 5 orders to special locations where there's challenges shipping. So I'll look into that, Chris. Eric, thank you, Rob. And the FLX team got my Kiwi Babymaker Pro 19 at the beginning of March in Toronto, Canada. Managed to take it out for a couple of quick rides in the cold. Sweet. Eric, so excited to hear that. I'm glad you got the bike, and even though it's cold, that you enjoy it. Oh no, we're frozen again. All right, I think you guys can probably hear me, but not see me. The camera may have run out of batteries here. Give me one sec, guys. I'm going to switch to the webcam. All right. I think we're live on the webcam, so we'll just finish the live off with that. All right. Sorry that looks so bad, but that's what we got. That's how we're going to end this live. All right, Ray, thanks for continuing these lives, Rob. Always informative and reassuring. Go FLX. You all rock. Thank you so much, Ray. We appreciate you tuning in for the patience and support. We'll keep these going until all the bikes are delivered. So looking forward to seeing you next week. Everybody stay tuned for the production updates as well every Tuesday. Trev Nod says, frozen on a brilliant mugshot of you. Awesome. Chris, what do you like the most about using Indiegogo, and what do you dislike the most about the process? The Babymaker was my first experience with this type of funding. Chris, that's a great question. What we like the most about Indiegogo is that we're able to build a new product, and when you make something new, you have no idea what the market response is going to be. So this is a way that we can garner interest for it, and while we're building it, while we're finishing it, get people on board and allow you to be the first ones to get it at a huge discount and not have to guess exactly how many do we need to build. So we're able to share it with you guys. You guys pre-order it, and then we take it into production with the exact number that we need to build, because our lead times on these products are pretty crazy, often 6 months, sometimes even more. So that's the best part of it. The worst part of it is the uncertainty. Because it's a new product, we don't know what's going to happen. We can't predict the future. We can't predict that, for example, customs in Spain is going to sit on these containers for 2-3 months at a time. So the uncertainty is really really agonizing and disappointing when we're expecting one thing and something else happens. It's really heartbreaking to see that happen and see people who were expecting it on this date not be able to fulfill that. That's why we do give estimates. They are the best estimate of what we know at the time. And moving forward, we're certainly going to craft our messaging a little bit better in the future so that we disappoint less people with the estimates and more people are clued into the process. All right, that is all the questions and all the time we have for today's live. A couple technical difficulties here at the end, so thanks for your patience, guys. And let's pick a good song to end this one. We're gonna go with this one. Thanks, guys, for watching, and stay tuned for the next live. Have a good one.